Hey babes, it is time to fly. So in a lot of my yoga classes, I'm offering handstands, and I wanted to just really give you some awesome strength practices, some really simple, easy exercises that will just fire up those muscles. So that way, if you're doing this one on the side, then you can bring them right into the yoga class, and it's so much more clear, and the progression will be so much faster for being able to get the butt to the sky and lift the feet off the ground. So we always want to the first thing you want to do is not be scared to death. I feel like literally so many people have a fear of death in handstands because they've done that flip over in class, or a lot of people that I know hurt their neck or their back. So we really want to focus on getting into the big muscle groups, breathing, feeding our muscles, and staying calm, because for some reason we turn retarded and forget everything we know once we go upside down. So I've seen this amazing posture, this beautiful connection to body and alignment, and then because we're afraid when it comes to handstand time, we've just arched, come into the neck and the shoulders, the legs are flappy, the butt's not on, we're not using the legs. So when we do these nice, slow, controlled exercises, we just teach our brain that we don't have to be so scared, so that way when handstand time comes, then it's easy, bam, I know what muscle groups to use. So we'll start with a little across the mat exercise. Come to the back of the mat. We'll lower hands to the floor. I want you to think light. So just see how you go on the first one. You'll be doing this one several times through the month, so you'll have a progression. So we'll bring hands to the floor. You might need to bend the legs to get the hands down. So the intention is to bring the toes to the back of the wrists, and eventually we'll be able to do it without jumping. So it will look like this, and again, every time before I fly, I do get really light. I pull everything into the center of my core. I tell myself that I'm a badass and I can do this. My mantra is my butt is a magnet to the sky. I'm light as F word. I'm weightless and I'm strong as all heck. So this is what it will look like without having a jump. Plant the palms. I drive my hands through the floor, turn the lats on. I use everything to lift, including my breath. So hands through, lift up. Toes come to the back of the wrist, drive hands through the floor, float it up, breathe, hands through the floor, float it up, and so on. So if we're not moving in such a light way, it's cool to jump, right? Anything you need to do, I just want you to think light and weightless. So we might have to jump at first. It's okay to keep the knees bent, right? This is going to be a little bit of a beginning layer. Breathe. And when we get to the end, so we should all be doing this together now. I don't want you to focus on if you can do it, because the number one thing I hear about this exercise is I feel like a huge, heavy piece of concrete. And when you watch, you're like, oh, it's going to be so easy. No problem. And then you try it and you're like, oh my goodness, I can't lift my feet. So all the negative mantras that we're going to have right now are I'm light. I don't care how much you jump. I don't care how close your feet are to your hands. I want you to practice feeling that point where your hands take the weight for just that second. Your butt gets light, and we just go nice and slow and breathe. So go one more time through. Breathe. Your version is perfect. Just focus on the lightness, the exercise, and what you can do. Spreading the hands, breathing. Toes come to the back of the wrists. Breathing. Good. Spin around. Big breath. One more time. Spread the hands. Focus on what you can do. I always like to see it happening perfectly in my head, so I know exactly what I'm supposed to look like, because practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So I always see shit perfectly in my head before I give it a go. Breathing, hovering, using the lats. You guys are strong, weightless. Good. All right, so keep practicing that through. That's going to turn the muscles on. Great exercise for handstands. Next, I'm going to ask you to find a wall, and this is how we're going to practice handstanding. So I just first want to mention I was a gymnast, and we never learned handstands jumping up against walls. There's two reasons why I'm not a big fan of handstands. The first one is it's a huge mental crutch. So trying to learn the handstand without a wall becomes this huge fear. So most people that I know that can do handstand on the wall, they'll never be able to have the fear, and they can never let go of doing one in the middle of the room. That's way too scary. The second reason is when we hop up to a handstand, we always have to arch to find the wall. So the first thing that you're teaching your brain when you get up to a handstand is arch. So if you do find the courage to practice it on your mat, we're going straight into the low back and straight into the neck. We don't have a connection to the body. So instead, we're going to slow it down. This time, we're going to face the wall. So hands to the floor. We'll start with left leg up. Spread the hands. So if your leg can't go that high, that's okay. Just go to the point where your leg can go. Spread the fingers. I'm driving hands through the floor, and straight away my lats come on. I just squeezed my butt and my legs, so I'm working for my body, not against. We're going to breathe, and without jumping, I just want you to lift the right toes off the mat and down. So there's no jumping, yeah? We want the hands underneath the shoulder, so just adjust the hands. Use the butt, use the belly, use the breath. Just lift. 4 more. For 4. Breathe. Use the whole body. 2. So I'm pressing actually through the floor. In my head, my hands are going through this concrete. 2. Breathe. Drive through. And 1. Nice. And we'll slowly switch. Leg up the wall. Straight away, right? I'm not in the neck. I'm not arching. When we go slow and lift our own body weight, it's so incredible for us to connect. And this is what a handstand feels like. A handstand ain't jumping up like this, all crazy, right? A handstand is lifting our body weight up with a connection. Spread the hands. Drive palms through the floor. Spread the fingers. Get out of the neck. Use the belly. My butt just turned on. My legs. Use the breath. And without jumping, we'll press foot into the back wall. Use the arms and just lift off the floor. Good. Breathe. Lift. 4 more. Drive hands through the floor. 4. Breathe. 3. Use everything but the neck. 2. Squeeze. And 1. Nice. And the last one we're going to do is we'll climb up the wall, and what we're looking for is a line. So shoulders over the wrists and butt and head over the shoulders, one straight line. So we never want to jump. We're always moving slowly and mindfully. When you jump, you have a huge chance of not being able to catch your body weight and slamming and falling back down. So I'll always cue in the arm balances, not really jumping, right? We want to be able to be strong enough to get our body up. So we step the foot on the wall. You can keep the legs bent if you're feeling a little bit nervous about this. And we'll walk until we have one straight line, yeah? So shoulders away from the ears, squeeze the butt, squeeze the belly, breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then slowly walk down, finish with the forward fold, make your way up, well done. So just remembering, we want to be in control of the body. It's not better if we can hit a handstand with a big arch for 2 seconds. It's so much better if we just lift an inch off the floor using the wall. Breathe, use your muscles, take this into our yoga classes. Well done, amazing. Have fun flying. See you soon.